Tapped in, keep the credit, I'ma get it on the back end. Kick rocks, cutting corners, trying to cash in. We still outside, high as gas is. Watch them force you to EV. Tried to cut me out, but you need me.
All right, you guys, we're going to get right into it. This is Raw Detroit, and I'm coming raw today. And if you don't like it, you know, it is what it is. But I'm going to say what I got to say. So help me God. I'm going to tell the truth in this video. Whether you like what I say or not, I don't really care. But I'm going to say what I got to say. Because there's a lot of people that come into your comment section in videos calling people clowns. And you don't know what you're saying. And you don't know football. And you don't know this. Look, man. Football, the game of football, a lot of people can understand it. You know, just because we have difference of opinion on how to do things doesn't mean that the other person is wrong. You got, you know, I understand what the Lions fans base, it's divided. You got one side that says, let Brad cook. Brad is cooking. Get your popcorn ready. You got the other side that says, let's hold Brad accountable because he should be building his defense behind Aiden Hutchinson. Nothing is wrong with either side. If you feel that Brad is cooking and you feel like, okay, the 6th round pick that we got in the draft is that dude, then that's your opinion. That is your opinion and you're entitled to that. But I'm entitled to my opinion as well. Even if you guys don't like it, I'm entitled to my opinion on what I think about the Detroit Lions and the situation, how Brad Holmes handled it. He doesn't care about the pass rush position. And I just got to say, it is what it is. Because if he did really care, you don't go and draft a defensive tackle with the first pick overall unless he can ball out like a Sue. If he can ball out like Sue or he's something like that, then you take that dude in the first round. Now, am I coming at Talik Williams? No, because Talik Williams is going to be a fine player, and we appreciate that Brad did draft him. And yes, Brad Holmes has been phenomenal. Get this, guys. I'm going to say this again. Brad Holmes has been phenomenal. He has changed the culture in Detroit. But that doesn't mean that I can't disagree with Brad Holmes just because Brad has changed the culture. It's just sometimes we're not going to always agree upon something. And that's okay. That doesn't make me wrong just because Brad has the job and he's sitting in the office, because the Lions could hire any of us. Any of us. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys would love to have Brad Holmes' position. Guys that's listening to this video right now, you would love to have Brad Holmes' position as GM of this team because you know what you would do with the team. I know what I would do with the team if I was given the opportunity that Brad Holmes has to be able to run an NFL football team. I understand. And my philosophy would be more like Howie Roseman. That's just how I am. I go after dogs. I go after difference makers. I go after players that's going to make a difference on the team. I'm not just picking up a bunch of guys and thinking that everything is going to be fine. The goal is to get to the Super Bowl. We got put out. Everybody keeps throwing it in your face. Oh, yeah, we went 15-2. We understand that we went 15-2. We had the best offense in the National Football League. But what did that get us? That got us nowhere but an early exit out the playoffs by a rookie quarterback. Lions fans are killing me. You guys walking around with your chest stuck out like we've won something. We have not done anything yet, guys, besides won a couple of division titles. We have still not been to the Super Bowl yet. And until we get to the Super Bowl, we can say what we want to say as fans. Even if you don't like it. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. There's two opinions out there, and it's cool. You got your opinion on, you think that Brad is, everything that Brad is doing, you're clapping and you're saying, yeah, Brad, this dude is going to be a monster. Yeah, this dude is good. Yeah. I love this guy, Brad. Thank you for getting this guy, Brad. This dude is he's going to be a beast, man. Every time somebody pick a player, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be a beast. You don't know how good they're going to be until once they suit up on Sundays and get the opportunity to play. Then you will know what type of player you're messing with. You can't call a person the steal of the draft really until that person actually becomes the steal of the draft and he performs well in the NFL, then you can say he was the steal of the draft. You don't just get to put that name on somebody just because you want to put that name and say, "Oh man, everything Brad is doing, this guy Brad knows how to draft." He know. Yes, Brad has hit on a lot of picks, and we're going to give Brad nothing but love and kudos for that. But this team is trying to go to a Super Bowl, man, and you know that the Lions are a few pieces away on the defensive side of the ball to be able to get to where they need to go. So it's not saying that I don't like Brad Holmes just because I disagree with him. Because I think Brad Holmes, I'm going to say for the record again, I think Brad Holmes has done a wonderful job in Detroit. The job that him and Dan Campbell has been able to do with the Detroit Lions, I love it. But at the same time, I still want to hold Brad Holmes accountable because I know that Brad could have did better than coming back with this guy. Now, I got nothing against this kid from Boise State. I have nothing against him. I wish him the best with his NFL career, but I still think that he left some food on the table. Brad Holmes had the opportunity to get whatever young edge that he wanted to get in this draft, and he decided against it and went and grabbed a defensive tackle for the first pick of the draft. I think that Brad was just trolling the fans, like, oh, okay, you guys think that I should get an edge first, huh? Okay, I'm going to get an edge in the 6th round. So we're going to see if bringing back Marcus Davenport, maybe we could be wrong. Maybe Davenport plays the whole entire season and has 15 sacks on the season. We don't know. Maybe this kid is going to come out and be a monster on defense. We don't know until the season starts. But you don't get the right to call other people clowns just because you don't agree with them. You don't get the right to do that. You don't want nobody calling you a clown just because they don't agree with your opinion. Everybody has their own opinions. And we're entitled to say how we feel and how we think without having to sugarcoat the message. Now, like I've said for so many videos, Aiden Hutchinson is the key to the Detroit Lions' success. But not only is Aiden Hutchinson the key, he has to be able to work himself in tip-top shape. And I'm not talking about just physically. I'm talking about mentally. Mentally getting himself prepared to go back out there and be the old Hutch. We know that physically he can do anything. He healed up fast, and he's ready to come back this season. And if Hutch goes out and get 10 to 15 sacks, that's going to be beautiful. But at the end of the day, we brought back an injury-prone Marcus Davenport. And we let go a healthy Zadarius Smith because of the money. Make this make sense to me, because Davenport has not played a full entire season in the NFL yet. But we decided to run it back with him and bring him back to be the other guy on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson. When there were so many edges, and we're not saying that we had to spend a bunch of money on edges. Don't get this misconstrued, guys. I'm not saying that we had to drop a boatload of money on an edge. I'm not saying that because that's something that Brad Holmes is not going to do. But maybe you could have grabbed a guy for a Matt Judon or somebody. I'm just saying somebody for maybe $5 or $6 million. I don't know. Something like that. Somebody that can give us help. Even a Jadeveon Clowney, somebody that can give us a little help at the edge position. Because we're pretty much trusting in Marcus Davenport to be healthy this season coming up. Now, Marcus Davenport is a big dude, and I understand that, but at the same time, he can't stay on the field. And that's been something that has kind of derailed his career a little bit. But I can't take this serious when we think that a guy that's been picked in the 6th round is just going to come into the league and dominate. Well, maybe I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, that's the crow that I'm going to have to eat. If I'm wrong, if this dude comes in the league and he dominates, then I'm wrong. And I can say I'm wrong and say, okay, this 6th round pick dude, he really balled out and he worked out. But at the end of the day, man, we just, as fans, just holding Brad accountable. That doesn't mean that we don't love Brad Holmes or we don't care about Brad Holmes. We love what he's done. But at the same time, we're going to hold him accountable to getting a legit edge. All right, you guys, this is Raw Detroit, and I'll be back to you soon with another video. Peace.